Not 12, I think 13. Question number 24. Chlorine reacts with hot concentrated NaOH, produces compound X and Y. Compound X gives white precipitate with silver nitrate. The average bond order of Cl and O atoms in Y is. The average bond order between Cl and O atoms in Y is. It is partially from first year, partial from second year, but we see the answer of it. Are we ready?
Yes, sir. We are ready, sir.
Yes, sir.
Here is the answer. When chlorine is reacting with cold NaOH, it is there in our first year, less than alkali metals. Under cold condition, you get NaCl and NaOCl, sodium chloride, sodium hypochlorite, and water. Under hot conditions, chlorine reacts with 6 moles of NaOH to give 5 moles of NaCl and 1 mole of NaClO3 and 3H2. In an ionic equation, we don't write water. In an ionic equation, we write it as chlorine gives impedance of OH, undergo disproportionation to give Cl minus and ClO3 minus. Only this much you write in ionic equations. You might have learned how to write ionic equation, how to balance it in your physical chemistry course. That's the important intermediate question. You can expect it for 4 marks. Okay. In the ionic equation, if the same element which is in zero oxidation state is becoming Cl minus, here Cl is plus 5. Entire ClO3 has minus charge, but Cl is plus 5. If the same element is gaining electrons and losing electrons in any reaction, it is called a disproportionation. It means element undergoes self-oxidation and self-reduction. Chlorine, when treated with NaOH, undergo auto-oxidation, auto-reduction known as disproportionation. Even in a hot NaOH, it undergoes disproportionation. Now the question is, when chlorine is undergoing disproportionation in a hot alkali, you are getting Cl minus and ClO3 minus ions along with water, which you can ignore. He is asking, chlorine when reacts with OH minus gives X minus and Y minus. The chloride ions always have a tendency to react with silver ions. If you add silver nitrate, it gives a white silver chloride precipitate. If you want to find whether a solution has chloride ions, simply you add silver nitrate. If you are getting a white precipitate, automatically you can say it has chloride ions. So he is saying when the solution is added with X minus is giving white precipitate, means there is chloride ion. Now he is asking about chlorate ion. In chlorate ion, what is the bond order of ClO bond? ClO bond means here, whenever there is one minus charge. Yes.
Here X is chloride, no sir? No.
X is chloride.
Yes, sir.
He is asking about Y. In a chlorate ion, it has total 1 minus charge. Notice whenever oxygen makes a double bond, it has no charge. Whenever oxygen is making only one bond, it gets minus 1 charge. Whenever oxygen makes 2 bonds, 0 charge. Whenever oxygen makes 3 bonds, it gets plus 1 charge. You know that? Do you know or don't you know?
Yes, sir. We know, sir. Molecular orbital theory.
So here oxygen is making, there are 3 oxygens, but there is 1 negative charge. 1 negative charge means 1 oxygen has a single bond, 2 oxygens have double bond. So the structure of ClO3 minus is pyramidal. The chlorine is sp3 hybridized and it has 2 double bonds and 1 single bond. Now they are asking bond order. What is bond order means? Number of bonded atoms you observe. How many bonded atoms are there for central atom?
3.
Number of bonds divided by number of bonded atoms to central atom. How many bonds are there in chlorate ion?
5.
5, sir.
How many bonded atoms are there for Cl?
3.
3, sir.
So bond order is
1.66.
Tickering. Can you see that? There are so many twists in that. In fact, there are 10 objective questions we have covered, if you see.
So can you explain again, sir, this problem?
Reaction between chlorine and NaOH, chlorine, bromine, iodine, all they react with NaOH to give NaCl, NaOCl. Whether it's chlorine or bromine or iodine, same reaction. Only F2 will not undergo this reaction because chlorine will never like to be +1. In the reaction of chlorine with NaOH, one Cl is -1, one Cl is +1. One Cl is gaining electron, one Cl is losing electron, self-oxidation, self-reduction known as disproportionation. Fluorine never undergo disproportionation because fluorine never likes plus charge. So except fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine give same reaction. This is with cold NaOH, this is with hot NaOH. In this reaction, if you are trying to write ionic equation, you will remove spectator ions. What are spectator ions? Ion whose oxidation state is not changing. Also, while writing ionic equation, you don't bother about water also. So simply you can write ionic equation like chlorine in presence of a base gives chloride ion, chlorate ion when it is hot. In the disproportionation reaction, they made a statement that when chlorine reacted with hot NaOH, it gave A and B. A reacted with silver nitrate to give a white precipitate. Very good. So A must be chloride. The Y, what is the bond order for ClO bond? I know in hot NaOH I am getting ClO3 minus. If there is one minus charge, means there must be one oxygen with single bond. It means all the other oxygens have double bond. Okay. It is a pyramidal chlorate ion.
Sir, explain this point again, sir.
So bond order is always equal to number of bonds present in a molecule divided by number of atoms bonded to central atom. 5/3.
One doubt, sir. Sir,
Okay.
chlorate ion, in chlorate ion, chlorine is sp hybridized now, sir, because 2 double bonds.
ClO3 minus. He is looking like AB3. Yes or no?
Yes, sir, AB3.
Yes, sir.
And A is a halogen having 7 valence electrons. Because there is a minus
Yes,
charge, I have to add 1 electron. There are 8 electrons. Out of 8, 3 are used by each oxygen uses 2 electrons. So 3 2s are 6 are used up. Our rule is if any bonded atom is there like hydrogen, chlorine, bromine, if it is linked to central atom, each fellow will use 1 electron. However, if the central atom is bonded to oxygen, each oxygen uses 2 electrons because it makes 2 bonds. So ClO3 minus is looking like AB3 minus. Here, A has 7 electrons and because of minus charge, I have to add 1 extra electron. Out of 8 electrons, 3 oxygens use 3 2s or 6 electrons. So 2 are left.
AB3
2 by
1.
2 is equal to 1. It is a AB3E type molecule. 3 plus 1 is equal to 4. So it is
4.
sp3 hybridized.
Yes, sir.
All AB3 E-type molecules are pyramidal in shape. Do you remember that?
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Sorry,
Yes,
Sorry.
sir.
Forgot, sir. Sorry, sir. Remember now, sir.
Okay. So it is definitely pyramidal in shape. Chlorine is sp3 hybridized. It is ClO3 minus. Because there is one minus charge, I understand one oxygen is having a single bond. It means remaining two oxygens have double bonds. So this must be the structure of ClO3 minus. Number of bonds are 5 and the number of bonded atoms are 3. 5 by 3, bond order is 1.666. That is very clear.
Yes, sir.
So we answered question number 24. Question number 23. For a reaction A gives rise to 2B, delta U internal energy change is 2.1 calories, delta S is 20, delta U is 2.1 kilocalories, delta S is 20 calories at 300 K. Hence, delta G in kilocalories is. Okay. I should know what is delta G.
Yes, sir.
Or what
Delta
is
H
delta G?
minus T delta S.
I would say that delta G is called Gibbs free energy change,
Yes,
which
sir.
is equal to the difference between the enthalpy change and energy
Delta H
wasted.
minus T delta S.
If I am burning a petrol in a car, a part of it is useful, a part of it is wasted. The wasted part is given by T delta S and useful part is given by delta G. Delta H is equal to total energy released due to combustion. From the energy released due to combustion of fuel, a part of it is wasted. Produced minus wasted is equal to useful energy. Yeah, your chemistry teacher is teaching like hell, let us suppose. He gave 100 points and you wasted 20 points. So how many points you have learned?
20 points.
More is the wastage, less is the learning. Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Less is useful, sir.
Now the same thing. Delta G means useful energy actually obtained due to any process. But this enthalpy change is given by delta H is always equal to internal energy change plus delta nRT.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Or delta H is equal to delta U plus P delta V. P delta V means work done.
Yes,
The
sir.
work done can be negative or it can be positive, I don't know. If the gas is expanding, it is negative. If the gas is compressed, it is positive. When a system total energy change is concerned, is equal to change in its internal energy plus work done. Suppose you are heating a gas. At the same time, you are compressing it. Now, you have increased the internal energy by heating and also you started doing work on it. So its delta H value will be too much. It will explode. Try to do this thing. Try to compress your cylinder and heat from the bottom. What happens to your cylinder?
Blast off.
What happens?
Blast, sir.
That's it. But you keep your gas cylinder on a stove, start heating it, and make a hole on the top. What happens?
Burning.
And you put this pipeline through hole very far off. What happens, sir, when you are heating? Will it blast or not?
No blast.
No, sir.
It will not blast because the work is going out. The work done is negative. When it is work is going out, even if you are increasing the temperature, what happens, sir? it will not blast. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
It means its internal energy is not too much increasing. That's the point. Anyway, let's not worry about that. Just let us examine this idea. Now we are examining the idea that in this problem, they wanted to know delta G. They gave me delta U value. In the equation A gives rise to 2B, it is a liquid, it is a gas. So change in the number of moles of gas is equal to 2 because I don't consider liquids or solids for calculating delta Ng. I look at only the gaseous products, it is 2. Here it is 0, 2 minus 0 is 2. Or T. This is delta H value. Delta is equal to delta H minus T delta S. Yes, sir? Agreed?
Agreed, sir.
Agreed?
Agree, sir.
Now they want to know delta G. What is delta U they gave? Let us see. Delta U value they gave as 2.1 kilocalories and delta S is 20, temperature is 300. 2.1, 20, 300. .1 kilocalories. Temperature is 300 K.
Yes, sir. 300
And
Kelvin. 300 Kelvin.
300 into delta S is given as 20
20.
calories. I should be very careful because it is in kilocalories, it is calories. So everything I should take in calories. Calories. R value in calories is 2, 1.987. I can take it as 2. Okay, sir. Everything is in calories.
Yes, sir.
R value is, sir?
R value is 2 calories. 1.987 calories or roughly 2 calories.
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir. Clear, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Clear. Clear.
Minus 7,200 plus 2,100. 5,100. Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Correct. Minus 5,100. Yes, sir.
So it is minus 5.1 kilocalories. They want answer in kilocalories.
Yes, sir.
Now let us discuss. Is there any difficulty with this problem?
No, sir.
Thank you very much. We have done second problem. But we are not in a hurry. I want to know whether I got this idea, sir. What is delta G? Delta G is useful part, useful energy in any process. Whenever something is done, something is wasted. Notice wastage is a rule of the thumb. When your mother is trying to make chicken curry, all the chicken your dad brought cannot be cooked. A part is wasted. Yes or no?
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Whenever you are eating a ice cream, you will be surprised to notice all the ice cream which you buy, you are not going to eat. A part of it will be wasted. You don't agree, but really it is wasted. How much it is wasted?
Sir, only that cover is wasted, sir.
Something will be sticking to the cover, man.
Yes, sir. Something.
Something will be sticking to your spoon. If you put your tongue and lick a lot, still a part of it will be wasted. There is
Yes,
no
sir.
process where there is no wastage, mind you. And you should not get hesitated if there is wastage. You should say it is a natural law and you should be happy. Okay. So delta G is useful part of the energy in any process, which is equal to difference between the energy produced minus energy wasted. Energy is wasted in terms of entropy change, that is a randomness, indiscipline, irregularity of the gas molecules moving about. And T times of the wastage, T delta S. Delta U is delta H is nothing but delta U plus P delta V. And P delta V is equal to PV is equal to nRT. So P delta V is equal to delta nRT, where you consider only gases. You should know that R value is to be taken according to other values. In calories, R is 2.
2 calories.
In joules, it is 8.314 joules.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
In ergs, it is 8.314 into 10 to the power 7 ergs.
Correct, sir. Correct, sir.
So R value is to be commensurate with other values. Are we very clear?
Sir,
about
one
it?
show the next slide, sir. Sir, one show next slide. Sir. 1 minute. Sir.
Take 2 minutes.
Sir, done, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, so we have to understand and we should be able to do similar problem later. Now anyway, we are looking at the next problem that appeared in IITG 2020 January 7. Well, this is a bit tricky question. Two solutions A and B, auntie and boy are mixed. Auntie is made in 100 liters, boy is also made in 100 liters. Auntie was made by dissolving 4 grams of NaOH, boy was made by dissolving 9.8 grams of H2SO4 in water. Now you want to take 40 liters of auntie and 10 liters of boy mix. Very good. So an auntie of 40 years is joining with a boy of 10 years. Very good. What happens? Whose influence will be more? Auntie's influence or boy's influence? I have to decide.
Yes,
Auntie,
sir.
sir.
Huh?
Auntie, sir.
Let me, I don't know. I want,
40 years, sir.
I don't know. Let us work out. Let me see moles. It is a good idea to see number of equivalents rather than moles. What is the difference between these two? Suppose I take 1 mole of NaOH. How many OH minus are there?
1,
If I take 10 boys, how many heads are there?
10,
Very good. If I take 10 boys, how many hands are there?
20,
20.
20, sir.
If I take 10 boys, how many fingers are there?
10.
100,
100.
100,
How
sir.
many, sir?
100, sir.
30
100.
rogues. 30 rogues. If I take 10 boys, you say 100
200, sir.
fingers.
200.
200, sir.
We have 200 fingers. You have to count fingers of hands and also fingers of your
Legs.
leg. Will have fingers or feet? I don't know. Your wish. Okay. So notice that if you are seeing the detail, then that is called normality. How many equivalents means actually how many OH minus. Molarity into number of OH minus given by each molecule is called normality. Normality will give me actual idea of OH minus I have, actual idea of H plus I have. Acid-base reactions are based on actual number of OH minus, actual number of H plus. Okay. Now I want to see. NaOH you have taken 4 grams. 4 grams means how many moles? Nobody is talking.
0.1 mole, sir.
0.1 mole.
Always number of moles is equal to weight by molecular weight, 4 by 40.1. Sir, if I have 0.1 mole of NaOH, I also have 0.1 mole of OH minus because each NaOH gives 1 OH minus. Can we see it?
Yes, sir.
Sir, 0.1 mole of NaOH and 0.1 mole of H2SO4.
Forget about that, man. We'll see the moles, we'll see the equivalents now. 0.1 mole of NaOH I have taken means 0.1 equivalence of NaOH, because for molarity and normality both are same for NaOH. Each NaOH is giving 1 OH minus. So how many equivalents of NaOH is there means 0.1. Can we see that really?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now let us look at H2SO4. How many moles of H2SO4 is there means 9.8 by 98, 0.1 mole, right?
Yes, sir. 0.1 moles.
Now how many equivalents of H plus are there? Each H2SO4 is giving 2 H plus. So if it is 0.1, H plus ions is equal to 0.1 into 2. That is equal to 0.2. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Also, I want you to notice, if you want to know equivalent weight actually represents to get one Avogadro number of H plus ions or to get Avogadro number of OH minus ions, what mass of material I should take. That is called its equivalent weight. For NaOH, molecular weight by 1 is equivalent weight because each NaOH has 1 OH minus. For H2SO4, molecular weight by 2 is its equivalent weight because each H2SO4 has 2 H plus. Right or wrong?
Right, sir. Molecular
Right,
weight
sir.
valency factor.
Therefore, equivalent weight of H2SO4 is 49 and equivalent weight of NaOH is 40.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now, without bothering much, let us simply see now. Sir, I have taken 0.1 equivalents of NaOH in 100 liters. I have taken 0.2 equivalents of H2SO4 in 100 liters. Agreed or not?
Agreed.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Let us go very slow. I want to repeat it. I want to be very sure I understood.
Yes, sir.
Weight by equivalent weight give me normality. Weight by equivalent weight will give me actual number of equivalents I have taken. Equivalent weight of NaOH is same as molecular weight, that is 40. Equivalent weight of H2SO4 is molecular weight by 2 because each molecule of H2SO4 gives 2H plus. Therefore, equivalent weight of NaOH is 40, equivalent weight of H2SO4 is 49. Can I see that really?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, what I have taken 4 by 40, 0.1 mole of NaOH, that is 0.1 equivalents. I have taken 98 by 98, 1 mole of H2SO4, 0.1 mole of H2SO4, which is equal to 0.2 equivalents of H2SO4, right? Now I have seen this. Now I am going to kill this problem in less than 45 seconds, you see.
Yes.
Now you have to start my time. Now, sir, 0.1 equivalents of NaOH is taken in 100 liters. 0.2 equivalents of H2SO4 is taken in 100 liters. It is its normality. It is its normality. It is NaOH. It is H2SO4. This solution, whenever I mix, I apply a formula N1V1 minus N2V2 divided by V1 plus V2 will give me the concentration. If the base is more, if the NBVB is more, if the NaVa is less, this formula will give me the concentration of OH minus. If the NaVa is more, NBVB is less, then this formula will give me concentration of H plus. I have taken 40 liters of NaOH and I have taken 10 liters of H2SO4. Sir, which is more, sir? This or this?
Sir, OH.
NaOH. NaOH.
Therefore, in my formula, I will write NBVB first. Okay,
Yes.
sir?
Yes, sir.
NBVB minus NaVa divided by
V1 plus
Vb plus Va is equal to concentration of OH minus ions.
Yes.
Can I see it? So
You
I
see.
can see it as this implies 40 into 10 to the power minus 3 minus
2 into 10 to the power minus 3.
10 into 2 to the 2 into 10 to the power minus 3. Yes, sir?
So
Yes, sir?
yes, sir. Yes,
Yes
sir.
or no?
Yes, sir.
Divided by
Correct.
50.
Correct, sir.
It implies 40 into 10 to the power minus 3, 20 into 10 to the power minus 3 is 20 into 10 to the power minus 3 divided by 50 is equal to 4 into 10 to the power minus 4 is OH minus IR. Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Correct, sir.
Now, pH is equal to 14 minus POH. pH is equal to 14 minus POH means minus log of OH minus ion concentration.
Yes.
14 minus 4 plus log 4. That is equal to 10.6. Do I know log 2 is equal to 0.3010? Log 3 is equal to 0.4771. Log 4 is equal to 0.6021. Log 5 is equal to 0.6990. Log 10 is equal to 1. Log 100 is equal to 2. All this I know or I don't know?
I don't know,
Sir, log 10 equal to 1, that all no, sir. Above 1 you will learn, sir.
I should know these values, otherwise I will be in trouble.
Yes, sir. We will learn, sir. We will learn, sir.
Thank you very much. We have done this problem. This problem you have to do 2-3 times to get the basic idea of what we are doing, how we are looking.
Yes.
This is not the number of problems we do that matters. It is the number of times we do it and the concept we imbibe that matters.
Yes, sir.
So that is the relation between NaOH and H2SO4. Now we are looking at, I don't know whether we have time. Do we have time, sir?
Just 3 minutes sir now.
Okay, very good. In 3 minutes, wonders can happen. Don't worry.
Yes, sir.
Always wonders can happen in 3 minutes.
Yes, sir. Can happen.
So if you carefully observe, out of 5 numerical type questions, they gave actually 3 questions from first year portion. Okay. In fact, 25th question, if you know what is chloramphenicol, that is second year's portion. Chloramphenicol is a medicine used to treat typhoid. It is used to treat the meningitis. Chloramphenicol is used to treat a wide variety of diseases. You want to see how the chloramphenicol looks like for a chain?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Chloramphenicol
Yes, sir.
looks like this, sir. It is compound that has OH group is called alcohol.
Yes, sir. Alcohol.
NH, CO, CH, Cl2, CH2OH. This is called chloramphenicol. It is a very wonderful drug that works against so many problems.
Yes, sir.
Okay. If you want to know its IUPAC name, of course, it's the alcohol propane diol, propane 1,3-diol, which is linked to amido group. Yes, dichloroacetamido. Actually, it is 1,1-dichloroethanamide. Amide gets high priority. 1,1-dichloroethanamide.
Yes, sir.
This is linked to through nitrogen. This group. What is that? It is linked to one propanol. I call it as
N1-dichloroethanamide.
N1,1-dichloroethanamide. It is linked through nitrogen to a carbon chain having, I call it as
N11 dichloroethanamide.
Wait, man. It is to be numbered like the point of linkage is first carbon, second carbon. I can call it as 2,4-nitrophenyl, 1-hydroxymethyl, 2-hydroxyethyl, 1,1-dichloroethanamide. Don't worry about its name. Such a complicated name they won't ask you. But it is chloramphenicol. The question is how many chiral carbons it has. How many chiral carbons it has?
Chiral means what, sir?
How many chiral carbons it has? A chiral carbon is one which is locked to 4 different groups. Carbons of benzene are never chiral because they are never locked to 4 different groups. In benzene, each carbon is making only locked to only 3 atoms. Moreover, in benzene, carbons are sp2 hybridized. sp2 hybridized carbon can never be chiral. All the carbons of benzene are sp2, so don't bother about their chirality. Now, NO2 can never be chiral because it is not locked to different groups. Carbon, which is sp3 hybridized, which is locked to 4 different groups, is called chiral carbon. Compounds which have chiral carbons can show optical activity. They show optical isomerism. If a compound is not having any chiral carbon, it cannot be optically active. Optical activity is a very important property. Anyway, the question is in chloramphenicol, how many carbons are chiral? How many, sir? How many? To be chiral, rule is the carbon must be locked to 4 different groups.
1.
You can clearly see that this carbon is locked to 4 different groups. One is OH, one is nitrophenyl, one is hydrogen, one is this bulky group. So this carbon is chiral. What about this carbon? This carbon is locked to one side this group, one side this amido group, one side to CH2OH, one side to H. All are different. So how many chiral carbons it has?
2.
This compound. I am writing it elaborately now.
Yes, sir. Yes. P double bond O, ON. So CHCl.
This compound, which is known as chloramphenicol, which is a wonderful medicine for many complaints like typhoid, dengue fever, like meningitis,